Okay, well, this is gonna work pretty crappily, but okay. So I was going to hopefully get some better frame rates here, but well, that's apparently not going to happen. So, well, okay. So the frame rate you're seeing is approximately 10 because my recording equipment is terrible. I could probably record better with my cell phone. I'm not even joking. And if you guys want to see this thing recorded via my cell phone, I will. But the application you're seeing is actually running at about 160 frames per second. I'm actually going to try to upload this at maximum resolution so that you can see in the upper left-hand corner the frame rate that I'm actually getting. You'll see the blocks there are right there. So this is essentially the final demonstration I have of my physics engine. It's getting pretty ridiculously complicated, but that's normal. The friction in this system is about 9.5, so it is pretty much sticking to the other side of that thing. So if it looks odd, it's because the friction is that high, and it helps when I'm stacking boxes if I have friction really high. Not that I couldn't do it otherwise, it'd just be a little more complicated. But I can stack 2 to 3 OBBs pretty good. That's probably going to fall off. I'm going to try to get 2 or... I got 2 already. I'm going to try to get 3 here real quick. There we go. There's 3 OBBs with minimal jitters. The jitters are probably going to be there until I fix one last thing. I am on Skype, as you can see there. This is just a sort of technical demo, and this is an impulse-based physics engine. This is with friction on, hence the spheres will roll. I felt that was helpful for the game we're making, Project Soul, right now. I figure for asteroids, they're probably going to be spherical most of the time. If not, they'll be boxes. And I'm actually working on a secret technology that I will unveil when I finish it. Actually, I have to start on it first. I have conceptualized what it will be. It's not terribly complicated. Coding-wise, conceptual-wise, it's pretty good. I know more or less what I need to do with it. But it's not that bad. Trying to just sort of get integration going. We are integrating currently with all of our various projects, physics, graphics, AI, along with the framework that our lead Anthony Hernandez created, which is an amazingly good framework. So that's just some of the stuff. I'll do a quick demo here. Gravity is actually being done via acceleration, not by force. I have forces in the game, but I don't really feel like doing those right now. They work fine, but they're mostly centered around the origin right now. The default ones are. And I didn't really, while they are programmed to have non-default forces added, I haven't added them as a demoable feature. Basically, the base force works. All the parameterized or different forces. The only difference would be I'd have to add in numbers instead of using the default sort of constructor thing. I realize this isn't my tutorial, but this is a very cool demo, I think. This is a mesh that will hopefully be using in the game. This has no gravity on it. I wanted to demo what the game will primarily have. Friction is on, however, gravity is not. Now, this mesh is has a bounding volume of an OBB, or oriented bounding box, whatever you want to call it. It's an OBB for me. Basically, it's a box that orientates based on the local position, and I think I got it there, yeah. Alright, and so the box that's surrounding this thing is as small as possible. It's basically going to encompass it. Well, the way I generate it is I take this mesh and basically take all of its various vertexes, and I determine which vertex is furthest in which directions, and I end up creating this, which is essentially that same mesh with a bounding box. The box is empty, it's just a box, but its size is basically identical to this thing. It's a bit difficult to see, but as you can see there, maybe might be a bit smaller just because of the way my graphics framework looks, but it is totally there. You cannot actually get any interpenetration on this thing. The bounding box is a little big, but you can get something like that to go on, and it will sort of stick to it, I think. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. I don't feel like demoing it right now, but I've actually had I took, that box up here, this one right here, I decided to try to add gravity to these boxes because they don't have any gravity, in demo, basically. So what I did is I basically tossed a bunch of OBBs on top of these things to try to get them to sit on the plane, and I managed to do it once, but it took, like, forever to get the thing to settle down because it has no gravity on it, so anything that would maybe make it bounce off will do that. So there's full friction. The optimizations are a bounding volume hierarchy. Basically everything in my system is designed to be essentially a sphere, so even this thing is essentially a sphere until it is not. That is how I organize this thing. It's a box that's got a sphere wrapped around it. If the sphere returns a true on collision detection, it will try box box. If box box fails, then we don't have any collision. If it's true, then we have collision detection, and we go to the contact registry, which will then generate the contacts based on the entities contacted. However, many of these features may not be in the final build that we're using because the the really cool collision I have envisioned for the final project will make our meshes essentially the bounding volume, so you'll be able to fly in here and in between all those little pipes and things. Yeah, that is going to be cool as hell, I think. So, I guess in closing, we have a few forces and friction, and I really wish that the frame rate on my recording equipment was better, but it's not, so the frame rate never dropped below 100, just so you guys know. It's at about 150 right now. There's a couple forces in here that I suppose I could demo, maybe, but I don't feel like it. Primarily, the purpose of this demonstration was to demonstrate how accurate and efficient our collision detection is. There is a bounding volume hierarchy, as I mentioned. There's also sleep optimization. So when an object no longer moves, it's put to sleep so that it's not really considered in collision detection against another sleeping object. And I suppose the final thing I should mention is I do have octrees in here. Octrees will be used for a couple other things that I'll mention when I get the demos for those available. Those will be fun. I'm looking forward to messing around with some other stuff. As it stands, this physics engine is fully capable of performing any collision duties that are required. While I'm not going to demonstrate it here and now, I have done stress tests of up to 4,000 entities, and my frame rate remains above 20 frames per second. I probably couldn't do that now because I do have other applications open, including Skype, and two instances of Visual Studio 2012. One is the master project that we have attempted to integrate this stuff with. The other one is just this physics engine, which I'm demoing here and now. The engine is very accurate. I have had 0 issues with detection accuracy. I think the engine's going really well. I guess one last thing I'll try is to knock this ball off of its platform and let you see it roll down a hill. My accuracy is terrible, so it's not going to do it quite right, but I'm hoping it rolls down correctly. Yeah, it's going off to the side. I'm going to have to try to... Come on! Damn it. There we go. I hope I didn't hit that too hard. I did. Shit. Okay, well, you saw it roll down, and ideally it would, hit something important, but it didn't, so I'm just going to blast a few spheres at this thing. You'll see it move, and they sort of roll around a little bit. So there you go. Friction is kind of keeping this guy from moving very quickly, but I think eventually, once he reaches this next sort of less inclined OBB, he's going to stop. See? There we go. He is right on top of this thing, and then there's this box and this thing up here. These are obviously asleep because they're not moving, but if you hit them, they do wake up, and you have collision detection and stuff like that. So, I'm very happy with the engine. I think it went really well. The final project is very good. There's some minor jitters at 3 OBB stacked, but I'm positive that I could maybe fix that if it was pertinent. However, the engine is designed primarily for a space game, so OBB stacking really wasn't a priority. It just sort of happened that I could do it, so I felt like demoing it because it's kind of hard to get it to work really well. Once everything else sort of falls into place, though, OBB stacking is pretty good. I've stacked up to like 7 or 8 with heavy jitters, but they stacked okay for a while. Eventually, obviously, jitters do cause things to fall apart. However, the jitters are so small at 3 that they generally stay there. That may or may not be due to friction holding them together. I don't know, nor do I really care at this point due to the lack of importance of OBB stacking for this engine and the game it's to be used in. I will continue to work on the engine for other things, but not until other things are done. So that's sort of where I'm at now. Thank you. Enjoy the engine, I guess. I may or may not make it open source. I probably will at some point. At least this version. I have it saved in this version state, so it's certainly possible. Thanks for watching, and I do hope you enjoy the little demo I had here. I'm going to upload this as soon as possible, and it will be attached to other things, so you can find it in various locations. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.